Two old boys ain't much for working. 2 shots on a barrel and they're talking about bourbon. Talking about a few other things that they don't know. If you've got a question, no need to ask. They don't have a clue, so raise your glass. Take a sip with the Bowl Brothers. Now it's on with the show. From the heart of central Kentucky, the bourbon capital of the world, it's 2 shots on a barrel with your host. A couple of hot shots of their own, the Bowl Brothers.
Welcome back to 2 Shots on a Barrel. I'm Jimbo along with J-Bo. J-Bo, are you sunbathing today?
It certainly feels like I'm sunbathing. I mean, I'm double-fisted, and I've got the sun beaming right in my eyes, man.
You got sunglasses on. You're kicked back like you're in the Bahamas or something. You got 2 glasses.
A beach chair.
So you got it all going on. What's going on, my brother?
Man, I tell you what, we have a big day today. This is the first time in a few weeks that we've actually been back in the studio, so I'm pretty excited to be back home again.
It is good to be back home. It was a fun couple of trips on the road, though. Yeah. I got to tell you.
Man.
I mean, we went to jail, which is cool, I guess, kind of cool. And then, how can you not enjoy a trip to Maker's Mark?
It's just a beautiful, beautiful place with beautiful people. We had a wonderful time, and if you haven't checked out the last podcast, you need to check it out.
So I got to tell you a story, J-Bo. I was on my way back from a visit to Log Still a few weeks ago, and I happened to come back through Bardstown because I wanted to just kind of, check things out and see what was going on. I'd heard about the blind pig, and I wanted to go past there. So I come back to Bardstown from New Haven, kind of the old way, and I'm seeing this sign that says Preservation Distillery, and I'm like, looks so freaking cool, but I didn't really know much about it. I didn't know with COVID and all that stuff whether they were open, but I thought, man, that looks cool. And then out of the blue, we were talking to our good buddy Chad Little Beetle Spalding with ISC, and he was mentioning, I think he had listened to the podcast with Denny, the episode with Denny Potter, and I said, look, you know of somebody, we'd love to have another guest. You got anybody you'd recommend? And he's like, hell yeah. And then he tells us he's got this VIP with Preservation Distillery. I mean, I was like, what? That's the same one I went past in Bardstown.
It's a cool place. That place has a lot of history. Before they bought into it, I DJ many parties in those buildings over there. What was it called? Hillbilly Heaven or something like that? Yeah. So, man, they've changed it around. I hope they put air conditioning in it finally, because that was the hottest damn place I've ever been in my life.
We do.
Yes.
We got it.
All right, so, J-Bo, without further ado, not only do we have the VIP from Preservation, we also have the VIP back with us from ISC, Chad Spalding. So go ahead.
No, you do it, man. You can see him. I can't see him. You do it.
Okay. Welcome in to Matt Jackson, head distiller at Preservation Distillery.
Awesome.
Man, what's up, brother?
Not much, guys. Just glad to be here.
Listen, you brought a little treasure today, and I do say treasure. I'd like to apologize for my partner in crime. So, J-Bo,
it's always my fault.
We always enjoy a good bourbon, as you can see in the window there, Matt. But J-Bo just in passing said, "Won't you bring me a bottle of your?" And he said, "Old Saint Nick." Little did he know, this is damn rich stuff, J-Bo.
It's like, I could be wrong on this, but wasn't it like $170 a bottle?
I was doing a little bit of investigating. It was like I think this particular one, the price I saw was like $195 or something.
Yeah, I think that's about right. $199, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I don't do a lot of the. I don't pay a lot of the attention to the price.
Is somebody calling you, J-Bo?
I don't know. I hear something. Is that your phone or my phone? Gotcha. Something about COVID and it scared me, man. So
we'll turn that off.
That's all good. I just thought somebody walked in and was telling me about COVID.
Dude, you can't see nothing. Just sit in there in that closet and just keep your mouth.
Social distancing at its best, right here.
I got you. But man, it's a pleasure to have you, brother. I got to be honest with you. We usually try to get a little bit of dirt on people, on our guests. We want to kind of know some dirt. And man, we couldn't get anything on you. That's like the second guest in a row. You and Denny Potter.
You didn't dig. You didn't dig for sure. For sure.
We must not talk to the right people, but just like they said, we don't have no dirt on this guy. We don't have any dirt on this guy. He's like Denny Potter, squeaky clean, J-Bo.
Dude, when I walked outside, I thought ZZ Top was walking in the building.
Listen, you know me and beards. Dude.
I know, man.
How long did it take you to do that beard? Because I've had dreams of having beards that look like that.
I've had a beard since I was 16, 17. So it's only been this long for the last couple of years. You know,
man.
My wife likes it, but it gets in the way more than anything. So.
Now, is the beards I'm noticing, especially in the beer industry, that everybody has a beard now? Is that a new thing, or is that something?
Hell, he's not in the beer industry.
No, I'm just saying, but it's
what
similar.
Does that have to? What kind of questions?
I'm just saying.
Well, I decided to keep it long when I took a fermentation course at Moonshine University with Dr. Pat Heiss, and he made a joke about stealing people's yeast strain. He'll go in and smell their mash and then get in his beard. And that's my secret there. So if you ever see me around any other distillery smelling mash, I'm gonna make sure to get it in there a little deep. So
that's awesome.
So Matt, tell me, what's the story? What is your story? How'd you get into this? Who are you, and where'd you come from, and all that stuff?
So it's a pretty cool story. I'm raised a local guy. Out
Joe,
towards,
Nelson County guy?
Yeah, towards in between New Haven and Culvertown there, a little town called Bardstown, Kentucky.
I've heard of that.
So I've lived there my entire life, and my background was actually construction and mechanics. So I actually got in touch with Preservation Distillery through another lady that worked there. She's no longer there, and I was kind of hired as just a kind of a do-it-all type guy, and we got everything in and was about to start taking off in production, and the lady that was there decided that she had some stuff come up and she couldn't do it, and we had all this equipment there, and I was surrounded by all these great people, and they just kind of helped me take off, and the owners were independently owned by a husband and wife, so they trusted me with it, and here I am.
How freaking cool is that?
Oh, it's I still every day I talk with people, and it's a hard story to believe, but I was just at the right place at the right time, man, basically.
All right, so I mean, here's this guy that's kind of, it's so funny when you hear these stories about these guys that get into it's almost just like by happenstance it happens.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked to Steve Nally, and Steve would talk about riding his bicycle as a kid to Maker's Mark, and then just one day he got tired of farming, and he says he goes there and asks for a job, and the next he's a Hall of Fame master distiller.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's kind of what it is for you. I mean, it's just like, dude, okay, I'm a construction guy one day, and the next time, I mean, you're putting out some serious juice.
And it was literally just that fast. I mean, it happened just that fast.
Go ahead and tell them. So they asked me for some dirt. I said, I haven't worked with Matt that long. I don't have a lot of dirt on Matt, but I do know how he told me he got into the business. So in happenstance is a great word, because the lady he's talking about, if I'm not mistaken, you were at your last job, you were installing.
Yeah. So my job previous, so up until when the economy went into the dumps, in 2008, I was an outside construction worker. That's what my dad had done for years, built houses, a carpenter, and, just kind of that same old thing. You just following your parents' footsteps, so that's just kind of what I was doing. And so the construction and stuff kind of went down with the economy, and I was able to get a job installing custom kitchens for Masterson's Appliance, actually, in Bardstown.
Okay. And
I worked there for probably 13 years, and that was it was a great job. Don't get me wrong. Those guys were awesome. I don't have one bad thing to say about them, but, I was able to pick up a ton of skills and trades working in that job, because we did everything. I mean, we did electric work, we did plumbing work, we done carpentry work, we did it all. And as Chad was saying there, that I was actually working for that company when I met the lady that got me the job at Preservation, and she was just really impressed with me. And
what is it, man? It's just like magnetism. I mean,
well,
what do these Balltown boys have?
Man, it's just the will to get the job done, and so she had actually just purchased a historic home in downtown Bardstown. And if you know anything about these homes, man, nothing in them is square. Nothing is normal in these houses. And, you know, she was being told by everybody that she was going to have to remodel her kitchen and redo all this stuff. And, you know, me and actually my best friend, he works with me now at Preservation. He was working for me then as well. Man, we went in and just knocked it out, you know, got it done, saved this lady a bunch of money, and she was thoroughly impressed. And she said, hey, I'm actually, you know, so-and-so with Preservation Distillery, and, you know, would you guys be interested in coming to work there? We don't have anybody to do any kind of maintenance or, you know, anything like that. And, you know, growing up in this area, you know, at the very least that getting a job at a distillery it's going to put food on your table. It's a consistent job, paychecks are there, and you know, you do have opportunity to grow in those companies for sure, but, you know, I never dreamed that it was going to turn into what I'm doing now. You know, I just figured at the most I would be, you know, doing some maintenance and this and that, but, man, I mean, within a few short months, it was just, my world was turned upside down, and, you know, here I am. You know, I just took it in stride, man.
So before all of this, did you have a taste for bourbon? Did you even care about bourbon?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
it's you know, but it was more of those knocking back half pints and like that instead of sipping on it.
So you're one of us.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
He's one of us,
I mean,
J-Bo.
you know, I've always liked good bourbon, and you know, I can remember just being in this industry for the few short years that I've been in it. It's just gone wild. You know, I mean, it's anything that bourbon touches turns to gold. It's like the Midas touch, you know, and, you know, I can remember going into to a store and buying a good quality bottle, 8 or 10-year-old bourbon for $25. You know, I mean, Jim Beam Black Label for perfect example was one of my favorites. It was always my go-to. You get it $25 a 175. Well, now they don't even have it anymore. They've got, I mean, they changed the name on it. They've still got the Jim Beam Black Label, but it's not the same juice. You know, and it's just seeing the industry go crazy is what's been one of the coolest parts, and you know, the customers make it so much fun because when they come in, I mean, these guys know their stuff. I mean, these people eat, sleep, and breathe bourbon. I mean, that's what they're all about, and you know, it's just really fun interacting with those guys, and you know, a lot of those guys are doing some stuff at home, and it's just fun swapping stories with them, and it's just. The people is what make bourbon so great, you know.
So, J-Bo, one of the things when I was doing a little looking on preservation, I know you guys talk about, and again, you got to remember, J-Bo and I are not very smart when it comes to, but we're learning. I mean, Bino taught us a lot the very first week.
Chad's fantastic, man. I do want to take a second to brag on Chad because, you know, when I first got into doing this stuff, you know, once again, I had a ton of great people around me, but, you know, There's certain things that I don't know if it's just you don't want to swallow your pride and call and ask them or what, but you know, I mean, I would call Chad, and never once did Chad ever, you know, not seem like he was interested in helping me or not stop whatever he was doing at any time to answer any questions I had. So I was just able to surround myself around great people that way, and I'm not sure about what all names I should drop out there, but you know,
throw some names around.
This is the part, Brad Boswell. Please listen up to this portion of this episode.
That's right.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
No, you know, and that's my job though with Independent Stave. So you know, I manage all of those craft accounts, but every one of them mean the same to me as the next guy, and I always, you know, I hope that everybody says that about me because. The guy that buys 1 barrel a year and the guy that buys 100,000 barrels a year, you know, I hope they talk about me the same way as far as the attention that they get. And like Matt said, I mean, when you surround yourself with people, and I go into an account and, you know, anybody in the distillery business, damn near it is just cool people. I mean, they're in there for a reason. Matt's one of those dudes. When the first time I met him, he had that beard, and you know,
it's like,
I met, you know, and Andy, his buddy, he was talking about earlier. Andy's just a super cool dude.
Yeah,
you know, you just know that they're going to do a lot of good things because they're not afraid to learn. You know, they jumped in there early on. They asked tons of questions. Weren't afraid to ask questions. You know, for sure.
Well, and that again, you brought up Andy, and again, best friend that I have in the world, hands down, besides my wife. You know, I mean, he's just one of those guys that no matter what. I mean, he's more like a brother than a friend. And man, I love the guy to death. He's just a fantastic person. Honest as the day is long. He's got a great family. So between him and I mean, having that guy there with me for that little bit of confidence factor helped a whole lot. I mean, we weren't scared to jump into something because we knew between the two of us we could figure it out, you know. But I want to take a second to the owners have been in this industry for a long time, and they've made a lot of good friends over the years. So one of those good friends is the Colesveen family, you know, and Drew helped me out a lot, you know, Drew Colesveen at Willits. He just great guy, you know. One of the only people that I've ever met in my life that you can ask him any question about bourbon, and he knows the answer right there on the spot. I mean,
Wow.
it's not one. I mean, anything to do with bourbon, whether it's the sales, the production part of it, the aging part of it. I mean, no matter what it is, if it's about bourbon, this guy knows it. You know, I mean, he's brilliant. And you know, the Palatellas have, you know, seen something in me. You know, Marcy Palatella, the owner, seen something in me that, you know, that she trusted and really liked about me, and you know, I will forever be grateful for her bringing me, you know, allowing me to be part of the industry in the role that I'm in.
So they were into the liquor business, so to speak.
Yes.
But really, a dream of theirs was getting into the bourbon, and so
what to touch on the bottle that I brought over here, the Very Old Saint Nick, that was one of her original labels. That was something that she did herself, came up with. And that's a really cool story, and you know, if I ever have the opportunity, I'll try to get her out here. But just listening to her tell that story is awesome, and you know, she was able to build relationships with guys 30 years ago, you know, that were making fantastic bourbon and stuff that's on the market now that I mean, you can't. It's like one of those super rare things. You grab a bottle of it, and it's like you got bars of gold or something. You know,
a unicorn.
A unicorn, and that's funny that you say that because we're actually we're the unicorn is we've got a use for that name coming up. So, but
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
But you know, her building those relationships, you know, really helped us out, and again, you know, opened up a door for me to be able to work with Drew through her, and then you know, Pete Kamer's another guy I want to give a shout out to. Pete has been great. He retired from Barton's. He was an engineer at Barton's. Was there for 70 years, Pete. No, I'm just kidding. Randy Allender, another guy retired from Jim Beam. I mean, these guys are just consultants that man, they're out of this world, and they really helped me out a lot. You know, taught me a lot.
Well, that's one of the coolest, and I think this echoes J-Bo last week when we were talking to Denny Potter about how all of the folks in the bourbon industry just kind of come together, it seems like. Sure. There's really no, you guys compete for the consumer's dollar, but there's not that competition because ultimately you're in the same game, and that is to sell more juice, and it's almost like a gentleman's club or whatever you want to call it. Everybody just kind of gets together and, hey, how can we? What challenge are you guys having today, or what are y'all doing to handle this? I mean, it's such a cool thing.
I've been to gentlemen's clubs, man, and there's nothing like a gentleman's club. So I don't know where you've lost me, man. You lost me.
Get out of that, gentleman.
Get out of that. Get out of that sunshine over there.
Well, like, you know, I when the Bourbon Trail first came around, you know, when it first became a big thing, you know, the distilleries were kind of competing for every consumer's loyalty, and then once they finally got on board with everything, they started to realize that if one does good, they'll all do good. Yeah. You know, so they want they want every distillery to be no matter the size, they want every distillery to be successful because it's just more revenue that they bring in for themselves. And the Bourbon Trail and the craft Bourbon Trail has been, I mean, it's been, you know, hands down the best thing for the bourbon industry in our area. You know, so again, no matter the size, I mean, you know, we had guys, you know, Mr. No and them came down from Beams, and when we had a soft opening or we had an event, you know, all those guys came down and were, you know, of course I could sit in a room and just listen to those guys talk for hours, you know, I mean, the stories they have, and you know, but the one thing that they all had in common was it was, you know, here's my number. If you ever need anything, you know, don't hesitate to call. And Steve Nally's another one. Man, he's just one of my favorite people in the world, and just I could sit and listen to that guy talk for days.
Same
you know,
here,
and,
man.
Yeah,
he has forgotten more than I'll ever know. I'm sure, you know.
I get to listen to him at the Thanksgiving table a lot of times. You know,
yeah.
Married into that family now.
Yeah. I mean, J-Bo, you and I have all those famous people in our phone books too, don't we? I mean, we got, you know, Steve Nallys and you know, the Russells and all these guys. We're, you know,
Biggest one on my list is you. Yeah, that's all I have. That's all I have.
Hey, speaking of the owners, J-Bo, I know you did your research as you normally do.
Absolutely.
But, he talked about Marcy Palantella, right?
Yeah.
All right. What sport did her husband
It
play?
had been baseball.
No, you're so wrong.
I don't know.
That is so wrong.
You know he can't read. He didn't do that.
That's true. That's true.
My vision's going to be worse after this show. So
He played in the NFL, J-Bo.
that's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's actually he's the oldest living retired NFL player.
How cool is that?
Yeah, he played his entire career at San Francisco 49ers. And he's another, man, Lou is just, he's one of those guys when you meet him, he's just that big grandfather type guy. Just, he's very extraordinary, and he's very talented. He was a very talented guy, and he built a lot of large distribution companies, and that's a cool story. That's another episode for sure.
That's great.
So he's a neat guy.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, man.
I got to tell you, I'm enjoying this very.
It's so
are,
good.
Are you mixing stuff, or what are you doing over there?
I have one glass of one bourbon, and my favorite so far is what he brought.
Oh,
The
absolutely.
8-year-old, very old
So
St. Nick.
you're a whole lot smarter Beano than we are.
Don't doubt it.
What is your thoughts on the very old?
No,
St.
it's great. It tastes like an older than an 8-year-old to me a little bit. It's got a lot of wood to it for sure, but it's easy to drink for 109 proof.
Absolutely, yeah.
And the finish on it lasts forever, and that's what I always look for in a good bourbon, is that finish, one that doesn't just leave you as soon as you drink it.
Yeah.
You can just pour a small glass and it lasts you a long time because it just stays with you.
It's good stuff.
Well, I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk more with Matt Jackson, Preservation Distillery. We're also hanging out with ISC's Chad Little Beano Spalding. J-Bo is sun shining. We're having fun. Back with more Two Shots on a Barrel right after this.
The Marion County Trail could be the best value in bourbon-themed travel in Kentucky. You'll experience one of the Kentucky Bourbon Trail's crown jewels, one of the Bourbon Trail Craft Tour's top-rated stops, and something you can't find anywhere else. Organized tours of a bourbon barrel manufacturing facility, all in one place. It's the Marion County Trail. Take your time to tour, dine, shop, and stay all along the way. Explore world-famous Maker's Mark, a hot ticket item on the Kentucky Bourbon Trail. Limestone Branch Distillery, home of world-famous Yellowstone bourbon, and one of the top-rated stops on the Kentucky Bourbon Trail Craft Tour. Kentucky Cooperage, the sprawling plant where the thriving bourbon industry's barrels are hand-built and seared with fire for bourbon aging flavor. And Lebanon, home of wonderful dining opportunities from home-cooked to chef-driven. Unique shopping opportunities, nowhere else to be found murals for your selfies, and overnight accommodations that range from traditional to bed and breakfast to bourbon-themed. Go to visitlebanonky.com for more details. Lebanon Tourist and Convention Commission, 270-692-0021.
Whether you're buying or selling, be it your first home or your last home, or building your investment portfolio, give me a call. I'm Lisa Kearns, a realtor with Exit Realty Heartland. I understand the stress and hassles involved in buying and selling, and I will be here for you. Let me put my 20-plus years experience in marketing and customer service to work for you. Give me a call, 270-402-4036. Lisa Kearns, realtor with Exit Realty Heartland, here to work for you.
Hey, this is Jimbo.
This is J-Bo.
Man, we are so happy because, J-Bo, we got this podcast going, and we got fantastic sponsors like our good buddy Billy Taft with Big O Tires.
Billy Taft, longtime friend, and I've been going to him for years for new tires at Big O Tires.
I needed a new set of tires just recently. Guess where I went?
Where'd you go?
Big O Tires here in Lebanon, Kentucky, the heart of Central Kentucky. Billy Taft. He took fantastic care of me. I know he's always taking care of you.
Yeah, heck yeah. He's even taking care of me when I broke down in Bardstown. He has a Bardstown location as well. Fixed the tires right up. Baby, I was out the door, back to Lebanon in no time.
He does a fantastic job. He's always worried about number one. You know what number one is?
What's that?
That is the customer.
Exactly.
The customer is always right when it comes to Billy Taft and Big O Tires, J-Bo.
You can get oil changes, tire rotations, new tires. Heck, he's even got used tires you can buy.
Absolutely. Whatever it is you're looking for, I guarantee you're going to find it at Big Old Tires, Bardstown, or in Lebanon. Boy, and guess what? They are sponsors right here, J-Bo, on Two Shots on a Barrel.
I'm telling you what, we love Billy Taft and Big Old Tires.
Go there today. Big Old Tires, Billy Taft. It's in Lebanon and Bardstown, the heart of Central Kentucky. Two old boys ain't much for working. J-Bo, I love it. I love it, man. I love that tune.
Terry is so talented.
Terry Woolley. So, the story goes that I said, Terry, we're doing this podcast thing. We're just a couple of guys want to talk about bourbon, everything that is Central Kentucky. And Terry's like, I got you. And he took it from there.
Yeah, 24 hours later, bam, we have an opening theme for our podcast.
Terry Woolley with Crystal Music is to kind of icing on the cake. Is sponsoring Two Shots on the Barrel. I don't know how cool that is.
Not only did he do this for us, he's also sponsoring us. So, I mean, it's a double whammy from old Terry. Thank you, Terry.
And you guys have come a long way. You went from a point in time where you guys didn't necessarily get along the best in the world, and now you are like best friends.
Well, it's like, you put two superstars in one room, there's going to be some bumping heads.
Listen, whether it's recording, maybe it's some voice lessons that you need, some learning how to play a guitar, harmonica, you name it, Crystal Music in Campbellsville, Kentucky is the place to go.
Hey, I even was in a tight spot. I was going to go to Nashville. I was going to interview a bunch of artists, and I needed a guitar to sign.
I remember that.
I walked in there, and I'm telling you, they have guitars everywhere. And he said, you don't want this guitar, you want this guitar. And he set me up, and away I went to Nashville. Bam.
He took care of you, and that's the way he can take care of everybody. He's a good dude. He works so hard. His wife, Ina, though, is the best thing in the world about him. There's no doubt about that. But Terry Woolley is a great dude, and for every musical thing that you need, including... If you're out there listening and you need a jingle for your podcast, reach out to Terry Woolley. Check him out on Facebook. Look him up, Terry Woolley. That's Wooley. Or look up Crystal Music. You'll be able to check out all their deals along the way. And thanks so much, as always, J-Bo. They're a great sponsor.
Hey, and we're looking for more.
Absolutely. Right here on Two Shots in a Barrel. You got to be kidding me. When you get the point, J-Bo, that means bring us back.
I didn't see the point. You got to understand.
Because you're sun blinded back there. All right, officially, J-Bo, bring us back.
Hey, guys, we're back with Two Shots on the Barrel. Looks like Jim Reed just finished up his. Oh, you still got a little juice in there.
You got to go back for another one.
Listen, you got to savor. J-Bo.
That's a lot.
Listen, when a man brings you a $200 bottle of bourbon, you got to drink it very slowly.
Is it wrong that I'm drinking a $200 bottle of bourbon out of a tin cup? Is that a problem?
It's not the first. Well, it is the first $200 bottle.
It really is.
I'm trying to look over there at the window.
No, you ain't got nothing.
We ain't got nothing that comes. The only thing that would probably come close to that,
the mellow corn
that we haven't got. The mellow corn, probably at $9.99 a bottle. But your father-in-law has promised to hook us up with some Bardstown Bourbon Fusion, which still is not going to hit that 200 mark.
No,
it's not even going to come close.
169, maybe 159.
Yeah. So. By the way, what's the status update on that, little Bino?
Was I supposed to check in on that?
Yeah, remember that was one of those things. The next time you saw your dad, your father-in-law, when you're over checking on some barrels, or having some lunch, which he says you guys do frequently. You were gonna.
I went over there last week and he was gone.
Okay.
They said he's got some sort of banker's hours like you.
Yeah. Well, that happens sometimes.
Nice.
That happens sometimes. So we're here with Matt Jackson with Preservation Distillery, a really, really cool place in Nelson County. The Bourbon Trail, man, it is huge. We talked about just how great it is over in Bardstown, J-Bo.
It's growing, and the bourbon industry in Bardstown alone has just gone apeshit. I mean, it's crazy the amount of stuff that's popping up everywhere. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong at all. Not wrong at all. It's growing every day for sure.
I read a word today. I read this article. I read the headline of an article. I didn't read all the way through it, but it was about the Bourbon Trail in Kentucky, just trying to Napa-fy the bourbon like Napa is to California. So just
you're there.
We're getting there. I mean, but I think it's still got room to grow. Because we're into this several years now, but there are hundreds of millions of people in this world that haven't been to Kentucky or this area yet. So, in new distilleries, there's several people that haven't been to never heard of Preservation, never been there. But we got to keep people coming into this state and just keep it growing, keep the industry growing, because I definitely want to be around for a long time. Matt wants to be around for a long time.
As do I. Yeah.
You can do it on the retail side, but it's difficult. So you need people to come and be fans of your product and be loyal to you. And that way they don't just buy one bottle of Very Old St. Nick. They come back and buy that second bottle of it. No matter what it costs, they come and visit. They show up in line when you're releasing that at your distillery. That's what we got to have. And it's going that way more and more. And we,
All right, so at what point did it was like this big thing, bourbon collectors? You got guys that are. When did that happen? Because Matt, you were talking about back in the day where you'd go buy a $25, 1.75 of some juice, but now people are buying they're paying $200 for your juice. When did that start?
It really, bourbon really took off. What, Chad? 4 or 5 years ago is when you really seen.
Say 5 years ago.
Yeah, 4 to 6 years ago is when you really seen the huge, take off for bourbon. And if you look back in history, after Prohibition, bourbon was huge. It got really, really big, and it was that way for 50 years roughly. In the late 70s and the 80s, the clear spirits kind of took over. Your tequilas and vodkas and cocktails, mixed drinks were a big thing, and then it started to slowly progress. And millennials is what really brought this back in, the millennial generation. And, they went back to doing things that they seen their grandfathers do. If you look back years ago, I mean, there were cigar rooms where guys would, after family get-togethers, all the men would go sit in the room and drink bourbon and smoke cigars and women too, I'm sure. But, it's... these people seen their grandfathers do it and their fathers do it, and they, it was just a tradition thing, and they just decided to start throwing it back, and they started to realize, hey, this is a really, really, bourbon is really great. It's really interesting, once it started to catch on, how different it was and how complex bourbon is, and it's just fantastic, and it took off from there, and it's social events, it keeps. Just like the bottle here that we brought, this is one of the things that guys do, people do. They get together over a bottle and talk about how great it is. And, that brings on the hype of it. That brings on the hype of it. So,
J-Bo, I can almost read your mind. It's like you're thinking about something like, it's almost like you're thinking, there's so much going on in Bardstown. Why Bardstown? I almost feel like you're thinking that. Could you possibly be thinking that right now?
It's like I said it at some point, I don't know. Like, now that you bring it up, yeah. So why Bardstown?
Why Bardstown? I just thought you were thinking that. Why Bardstown, though? Well, I mean, because, you think about the everything that is over at Bardstown. You go to Bardstown, you see all the folks that come in. You've got the Bourbon Festival that's everywhere. But why Bardstown?
Well, you hear the old cliche. It's something in the water. And but it legitimately is something in the water. We've got that great limestone water there, and it's just perfect for making bourbon. And not only is it that, it's just the people there. I mean it's just the people. The people in this industry, they live bourbon, and it shows. And it shows in their product. And it's you got the Bean family there, and the Willets, the Colesbean family that own Willets, and
the Shapiros
at Heaven Hill, and now luckily the Palatellas at Preservation, and just all these families that bourbon has been in their blood for since they settled in the United America's been a country.
You know, and you talk about Bardstown, but you spread that out to Nelson County, and then you also have now Log Still.
Sure.
Lux Row is
Yeah.
a Bardstown Bourbon Company. I mean, geez Louise.
Yeah.
It just is getting bigger and bigger.
Again, it's the Bardstown in that area is just suited perfectly for making bourbon. I mean, down to the the water, the grains that they can get there, the weather that they can age their barrels in. All that stuff is just perfect there. And logistically, it's a good spot. I mean, we're 35 minutes from downtown Louisville.
Sure.
So it's just one of those places that's really special. Bardstown is a special place, and that area is just special. It's and you feel it if you've been out of town. If you ever went on vacation, and growing up when I was a kid, you drive into town. We go into town once a week or whatever it was. You get into by 1792, and you get that sour mash smell. And it was, as a kid, it was like, you always, it's terrible. But now it's you look for it. When you're coming, if you, if you ever go out of town on vacation and you come back, I mean, it's just that smell of home.
Mm-hmm.
You immediately feel comfort.
Yeah.
You're home. You're home, and it's just we want to extend that to all of our visitors. We try to make all of our visitors feel that way, and that's what makes it so special. So
That's wonderful, man.
Well, one of the things you go out and you see a lot of the comments about folks from all around the country that come and visit your place, and they talk about how unique and how I don't know, quaint it is. I think there was somebody that even mentioned that I assume they were talking about you took the time to answer questions and those types of things, which I think you don't get at a big place. You only get that at a Preservation or at a Limestone or some small place like that,
Sure.
Which is pretty cool. I'm interested though, Matt. You guys do things a little bit different at Preservation. I'm interested in what you do differently than say some big guys out there.
yeah, we do. And actually, Preservation is a first in a lot of categories, and I can't begin to name them all. I mean, but I do know that we're the first 100% pot distilled facility in the state of Kentucky. Everything we do is all single pass pot distillation. We don't do any kind of.
All right, so for the dummies in the crowd,
That would be me over here.
yeah,
Well, he perked up when he said
Yeah.
pot.
Yeah, it's like, what, they do what
does
over
pot
there?
have anything to do? No. For the dummies though, briefly tell me what pot distilling means.
So pot distilling is more of a traditional way of making bourbon. That's how bourbon was, or any distilled spirit was first made, was pot distillation. You didn't have the column stills.
Okay.
George Washington
Did
pot distillation.
Yes, pot distillation. Actually, and everybody did up until right around the beginning of Prohibition, I believe it was. That's when column stills first started getting brought into the bourbon scene or distilled spirit scene. But the pot distillation tends to be a little slower. You can't do as big as batches as a lot of these other distilleries that are running column stills. In 1,000 gallon, that's about as big as you want to go on a pot still. You start getting into too much bigger than that, it turns into a big headache. But pot distillation's a little slower. But we tend to find that when you're doing a pot distilled product, and emphasize on the single pass part of it, you have a lot better mouthfeel, and it just your characteristics, tasting notes and stuff are a little bit more intense. And the one thing that a lot of distillers agree on, I say a lot because not all, is the more times that you distill a product, you strip things off of it, whether it be mouthfeel or flavor or whatever it is. So every time you distill that product, you're stripping a little bit off of it. It's not just about the alcohol part, the ethanol part. It's you're picking up all those things that make bourbon great. The coating your mouth and the aroma that you get and all that. The nose of the bourbon. So we decided that if we could get it right the very first time, that hey, that's what we want to do, and we're trying to showcase bourbon in its truest form. We want to handle it as little as possible. We want to try to do everything right, perfect the first time, put it in the barrel and let it do its thing. And we really pride ourselves on showcasing how different bourbon is supposed to be. It's not not every bottle is supposed to be exactly the same. You know, it's supposed to taste different. Bourbon is supposed to taste different, and you know, there's so many deciding factors that go into what a bourbon is going to taste like in its finished state, and that's what we're really trying to showcase. And, you know, down to Chad can touch on it. Down to the barrel. I mean, you know, there's way more than one tree that it takes to coop a barrel. I mean, what you got on average, Chad? 15 different trees in that one barrel?
At least. It's probably hard to
Yeah.
say how many trees it takes to make a barrel just
So-
because of our process.
Sure. And all those trees came from different parts of the state. You know, they were all exposed to different elements in the environment, and that all goes into play in the
So
final
so
product.
in one particular barrel, you're telling me there could be 15 trees
At least
in that barrel.
Easily. No, there's not one barrel that's made by one stave or one tree. It would, in our process. There's
Wow.
not. Now we have done some special projects like with Buffalo Trace single oak project where we cut one tree, made one barrel out of that one tree. They filled it, and so we've done that, and it's not very fun to do because logistically it's hard to keep all that
Right,
separated
right,
in our
right.
process, but. One thing that Matthew and them do really good is they buy a few, several different styles and types of barrels, and not even from one cooperage. They buy from, because it's smart. That's smart business to not put all your eggs in one basket. So, if you buy and have all these cool barrel options and different styles of barrels that age their juice, differently, and then at the end to be able to blend that is the fun part of that for like folks like Matt and them because. The blending of a product and then you put it in a bottle is just got to be super rewarding for those folks, I would imagine, because it's like, we really did something special here by picking the very best of what we could find and blend it together. So, but that pot distillation, he hit it right on the nail. I mean, the graininess and the oiliness that you get that stays with it through that process versus like a column still, which strips out a lot of that flavor. Don't get me wrong. There's 9 million barrels of
agreed
really good juice in this state being aged right now that we're on a column still, and it's going to taste delicious.
Absolutely.
And if you look over there, nearly
I would say
90% of
yeah.
them were on a column still, maybe more than that.
Yeah.
But it's just different. So we talked about earlier the word better is a dangerous word to use in this industry because better to all of us is different, but it is different than a column still. And, some people probably search out pot distilled whiskeys versus column distilled whiskeys. But
they do. They do for sure. And again, one of the coolest parts about a pot still is, when we cook our mash, I mean, we buy all of our grains local, local as we can, and 100% of our corn comes within 15 minutes of our distillery. Most of all, I would say 99.9% of our wheat comes within 15 or 20 minutes of our distillery. Our malted barley, of course, it comes in from where everybody else gets it. It grows up in Wisconsin. It comes from Wisconsin, Minnesota. Just because it's not suited, Kentucky's not suited to grow a lot of good quality barley. I'm not saying that it can't be done. It's just not a major cash crop here. But again, the cool thing about the pot stills is we're getting all these grains and stuff from one specific place. We're cooking this mash on the same day, But when we distill it in our pots, every batch tastes a little bit different, and it's just, you get that uniqueness with a pot still. And it's, again, a great thing about a column still is those guys can continually run out consistent, same tasting juice, 24/7, whereas a pot still, it's a little bit more labor intensive. Not saying that it's better by any means because, I'm a huge fan of a ton of different bourbons besides ours, but, it's just, we're highlighting the uniqueness of bourbon, and trying to keep it to its purest form is what we're trying
It's
to do.
kind of taking you back in time almost.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
can see both of y'all are a little confused about the pot versus column thing. So have you ever seen a pot?
Is it similar to like moonshining?
Yes.
Right. So it would be just like what the
Yeah.
old moonshiners basically did. It would be like a ball shaped or oval shaped.
Turnip pots, a lot of people call them turnip
Instead of
pots.
that
and
40
onion
foot,
pots.
36-inch diameter.
It's kind of like the one in your backyard out in the woods.
You weren't supposed to tell me.
Oh, my
that.
bad, my bad.
No, Matt taught me how to run that one as well.
That's awesome.
They're really cool looking. If you go into the distillery over there, Preservation, to see those those pot stills sitting over there. And I've seen a pot still anywhere from a little 5-gallon pot still up to their 1,000-gallon pot still. What do you have? 2 of those?
Yes, we got two 1,000-gallon pot stills.
Unbelievable. That's cool stuff.
And actually we've got a really neat facility. I mean, we're set up. I mean, we can do gins and vodkas. We've got gin baskets on our pot stills, and that's just one of those things that we really want to draw as many people out as we can, and show them that we've got a really neat facility there. It's really cool.
It's fantastic.
So let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we have some serious questions for this guy.
Serious questions. Have you heard about the segment 3 of our?
No, I haven't.
It's going to be fun for you.
Hey,
it's going to be fun for
I'm
you.
leaving, Matt. Good luck, brother.
No, this one. When you got Chad in here,
yes,
we could throw a curveball. This could could be Chad talk.
Yeah, man.
So we just don't know what segment 3. Usually, J-Bo has it all planned out, so it's going to be fun. I promise you. So more with 2 Shots on a Barrel. Right after this break, we're hanging out with Matt Jackson with Preservation. Yeah, Preservation. And I've only had a little bit.
You might be more than 1 deep back there.
No, I need a little bit more, but actually, it's preservation's a difficult word to say sometimes.
Yeah, especially when you're 3 deep, man. I'm telling you.
All right, more on 2 Shots coming your way. I'm just gonna skip the who we're with part. Okay. All right, coming back.
The Marion County Trail could be the best value in bourbon-themed travel in Kentucky. You'll experience one of the Kentucky Bourbon Trail's crown jewels, one of the Bourbon Trail Craft Tour's top-rated stops, and something you can't find anywhere else. Organized tours of a bourbon barrel manufacturing facility, all in one place. It's the Marion County Trail. Take your time to tour, dine, shop, and stay all along the way. Explore world-famous Maker's Mark, a hot ticket item on the Kentucky Bourbon Trail. Limestone Branch Distillery, home of world-famous Yellowstone bourbon, and one of the top-rated stops on the Kentucky Bourbon Trail Craft Tour. Kentucky Cooperage, the sprawling plant where the thriving Bourbon Industry's barrels are hand-built and seared with fire for bourbon aging flavor. And Lebanon, home of wonderful dining opportunities from home-cooked to chef-driven. Unique shopping opportunities, nowhere else to be found murals for your selfies, and overnight accommodations that range from traditional to bed and breakfast to bourbon-themed. Go to visitlebanonky.com for more details. Lebanon Tourist and Convention Commission, 270-692-0021.
Whether you're buying or selling, be it your first home or your last home, or building your investment portfolio, give me a call. I'm Lisa Kearns, a realtor with Exit Realty Heartland. I understand the stress and hassles involved in buying and selling, and I will be here for you. Let me put my 20-plus years experience in marketing and customer service to work for you. Give me a call, 270-402-4036. Lisa Kearns, realtor with Exit Realty Heartland, here to work for you.
Hey, this is Jimbo.
This is J-Bo.
Man, we are so happy because, J-Bo, we got this podcast going, and we got fantastic sponsors like our good buddy Billy Taft with Big O Tires.
Billy Taft, longtime friend, and I've been going to him for years for new tires at Big O Tires.
I needed a new set of tires just recently. Guess where I went?
Where'd you go?
Big O Tires here in Lebanon, Kentucky, the heart of Central Kentucky. Billy Taft. He took fantastic care of me. I know he's always taking care of you.
Yeah, heck yeah. He's even taking care of me when I broke down in Bardstown. He has a Bardstown location as well. Fixed the tires right up. Baby, I was out the door, back to Lebanon in no time.
He does a fantastic job. He's always worried about number one. You know what number one is?
What's that?
That is the customer.
Exactly.
The customer is always right when it comes to Billy Taft and Big O Tires, J-Bo.
You can get oil changes, tire rotations, new tires. Heck, he's even got used tires you can buy.
Absolutely. Whatever it is you're looking for, I guarantee you're going to find it at Big O Tires, Bardstown, or in Lebanon. Boy, and guess what? They are sponsors right here, J-Bo, on 2 Shots on a Barrel.
I'm telling you what, we love Billy Taft and Big O Tires.
Go there today. Big O Tires, Billy Taft. It's in Lebanon and Bardstown, the heart of Central Kentucky. Two old boys ain't much for working. J-Bo, I love it. I love it, man. I love that tune.
Terry is so talented.
Terry Woolley. So, the story goes that I said, Terry, we're doing this podcast thing. We're just a couple of guys want to talk about bourbon, everything that is Central Kentucky. And Terry's like, I got you. And he took it from there.
Yeah, 24 hours later, bam, we have an opening theme for our podcast.
Terry Woolley with Crystal Music is to kind of icing on the cake. Is sponsoring Two Shots on the Barrel. I don't know how cool that is.
Not only did he do this for us, he's also sponsoring us. So, I mean, it's a double whammy from old Terry. Thank you, Terry.
And you guys have come a long way. You went from a point in time where you guys didn't necessarily get along the best in the world, and now you are like best friends.
Well, it's like, you put two superstars in one room, there's going to be some bumping heads.
Listen, whether it's recording, maybe it's some voice lessons that you need, some learning how to play a guitar, harmonica, you name it, Crystal Music in Campbellsville, Kentucky is the place to go.
Hey, I even was in a tight spot. I was going to go to Nashville. I was going to interview a bunch of artists, and I needed a guitar to sign.
I remember that.
I walked in there, and I'm telling you, they have guitars everywhere. And he said, you don't want this guitar, you want this guitar. And he set me up, and away I went to Nashville. Bam.
He took care of you, and that's the way he can take care of everybody. He's a good dude. He works so hard. His wife, Anna, though, is the best thing in the world about him. There's no doubt about that. But Terry Woolley is a great dude, and for every musical thing that you need, including... If you're out there listening and you need a jingle for your podcast, reach out to Terry Woolley. Check him out on Facebook. Look him up, Terry Woolley. That's Wooley. Or look up Crystal Music. You'll be able to check out all their deals along the way. And thanks so much, as always, J-Bo. They're a great sponsor.
Hey, and we're looking for more.
Absolutely. Right here on Two Shots in a Barrel. Back to Two Shots on a Barrel. We are having fun. Finally, J-Bo, the sun has gone down. You can bring out your new glasses, which are your non-sunglasses.
Yeah, it's great, man. Nice to see you guys.
What is today? Wednesday? So 2 days from now, you'll be up in the air trying to raise money or raise Toys for Tots. How cool is that? So
it's we're not doing the Toys for Tots, but it's similar. It's all the toys are going to stay in Bardstown.
I got you. Okay.
Toys for Tots does wonderful stuff. They send out to kids everywhere, but I was like, if I'm going to sit on a lift for 24 hours, I want the kids in Bardstown to benefit from it. So from Friday to Saturday, I'll be on a lift in Bardstown at the square collecting new toys.
Yeah, take your kids up there. He's going to sit on a sky lift 24 foot in the air for 24 hours.
And he's going to have his own personal porta potty up there on the lift.
Hey, I can relate, man. I'm a hunter. I've set up in tree stands for several hours.
But how awesome would it be if you had your own porta pot up there too? See,
just kind of turn around and go off the tree.
That's right.
That's good stuff.
That's a great thing you guys do, man. We'll any way we can help support on the preservation side, just let us know.
Come on out Friday, Saturday from 12 to 12. You can drop off some toys.
You got it.
Hanging out with Matt Jackson, Preservation Distillery. This is segment 3, J-Bo, and I know for all of the preparation that you don't do for shows, I know that you do a really good job of making our guests feel uneasy in segment 3.
Man, I'm a nice guy, right, Chad? I didn't make it too hard on you, did I? And we had dirt on you.
The first episode, no, it wasn't bad at all.
Not that bad.
Hey, I do want to brag a little bit to probably mostly just to Michael May. I'm the first 2-time guest on the podcast.
True.
Yep.
True.
Yeah.
Michael May.
That's right.
You stick that one where you
Yeah,
know
yeah,
where.
yeah.
That's right.
Michael was taking a lot of pride because in our numbers, no one can match up to the Turtle Man, Matt. So if you think if you bypass the Turtle Man, you are in rare company. Just so you'll know, okay?
Oh, I get it.
But number 2 in our numbers have been Michael May,
And Chad,
and then Chad has been right there behind him.
That was a great show, the Michael May show. It was a great show.
Chad gets extra points for every point you get. It. We should add it on, and then you'll be passing him up.
Absolutely. That's got to happen.
I think that's only fair.
But it doesn't matter. I'm still the first 2-time guest on Two
That's
Shots
right.
on the
Well,
Barrel.
and you were the first guest on 2 shots on a barrel. So
A
you've
lot
got a
of-
lot of things
A lot
to.
of firsts going on, just like Preservation Distillery.
That's right. A lot of
They were the first craft distillery in Bardstown.
Yeah.
Yep. So
First 100% pot distilled facility in the state. We're the first female-owned distillery in the state of Kentucky.
cool.
So
You
it's
guys
a
got
lot of firsts going on.
A lot of
over there.
things going on
Sure,
there, man.
Sure.
All right, so you talked about your buddy Andy, I think.
Yeah.
All right, so listen, if we can't get any dirt on you, surely we can get something on Andy.
I'm gonna tell you guys, y'all are gonna have it. It's gonna be a lot easier for you to get dirt on me than him. This guy, he's just salt of the earth guy, man. I don't have one. I can't think of one bad thing.
So you dudes you guys have been buddies pretty much your whole life?
Entire life. I mean, it's we grew up right next to each other. I mean, and he's a few years younger than me, but yeah, I mean, I've known this guy ever since he was.
It's always good to have that one person you can fall back on. And I'm glad Chad's that guy for me.
There you go.
And I
There
mean,
you go.
I forgot about Jim. Jim,
always
something there.
count on me, J-Bo.
Listen, I was supposed to give up cussing because I do a Sunday morning show, but J-Bo kissed my ass. You hear me?
Hey, I got a question for you. I did actually read a little bit. You're the head distiller, is that right?
Yes, it's head distiller. Yeah.
So tell me, because I'm asking you because I really don't know.
I don't
What's
like
the
how
difference?
this question's going.
What's the difference between a master distiller and a head distiller? Because I don't know. We're actually
So, I've never really given that a lot of thought as far as what my title goes. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, the reason I say this because I'm not 100% sure, but from what I've gathered just listening, so the title master distiller is it's a title given to you by your peers. Once you've been in the industry long enough and you're producing juice and it's released and things of that nature. But I'm not 100% sure about that.
So basically we got you on the show before you're officially going to be like rock star status.
Well, I mean,
After this, he could be in.
Yeah.
I don't
Dude,
know.
have you signed any autographs yet? On bottle, have you signed bottles yet?
I have, yeah.
How did it feel?
It was it was pretty cool. That's pretty neat.
That's cool,
It's
man.
pretty
'Cause
neat.
I have a funny feeling you're going to be signing a lot more bottles.
I hope so.
That's
I
good
remember
stuff.
Steve Nally telling us a story about head distiller because he said back in the day there wasn't any such thing as a master distiller. If you were a head distiller, that's what he said he was back in the day. And if you remember last week, Denny Potter talked about from a perspective, at Maker's Mark, he said there's a lot of guys that you could put on that, call them a distiller, a head distiller, or whatever. And in the case of Denny Potter at Maker's Mark, he said now these days it's turned a little more into a marketing piece of the puzzle. I mean, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I listened to that last week, and I thought exactly the same thing Denny did. It's more about your marketing team giving you that. And sometimes, like Matt said, if your peers start calling you that's
really
awesome.
what I mean. That's to me when guys like Drew Coulsveen or Steve Nally or Denny Potter, if they recognize me and if I ever get the opportunity and I'm blessed enough to be in a room with those guys, if that's what they call me, that's when I'll accept it. Not just because so and so calls me that, but when these guys that I really look up to in the industry and when those guys start using the term, that's when it'll be official for me.
So you do the work of a master distiller right now.
I mean, I guess.
I mean,
I do.
That's what I see.
Well,
I mean,
and going back to I touched on Pete Kamer and Randy Allender earlier. Randy has said it. He said, you're more of a true definition of what a master distiller will be.
Working.
Because you're down here fixing the machines. You're doing it all. And we do, and that's being a small facility is super cool, but sometimes it's kind of a bummer. When you get called at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, you got to come up here and fix this piece of machinery. But I pride myself on that. I take a lot of pride in it. I'm glad I'm that guy that can be on call. I'm fortunate enough to be talented enough to do it. So
your story is similar to Steve's in so many ways, man. Because
it really is.
Steve has done shit jobs. He started in every shit job.
Sure,
every job
sure.
there was to do, he did it.
Sure.
And I think that's how you're really supposed to do things to get to where you need to be is to know it all, and you know it all.
Sure. Well, I've still got a lot to learn, but I want to know as much as I can, and that was something I I can remember my dad telling me, the more you know, the more you're worth. That's right. It's just something, one of those things I grew up with. I was always really interested in everything I was doing. I wanted to know how everything worked, why this did this and why that did that. And, and again, not being afraid of jumping into a situation up there. I mean, all the maintenance and stuff is done in-house between Andy and myself, we can turn wrenches, and we change out all the motors, do all the wiring, we do all that stuff.
I think the last time I was over there, they were scrubbing the pot stills with something, I don't know, just to make it shine. So these two were up on top of a forklift. Right. Like, what the hell y'all doing up there? Like, we're trying to shine up these stills, man.
Yeah.
And just very hands-on. I mean, every time I go over there, they really, they're just busy. Most of the time, it's like, Chad, get the hell out of the way. We got work
no,
to do.
it's not. Chad, you full shit. No, it's not.
Hey, so tell me that. How old are you, Matt?
I'm 34.
34 years old. Young dude. I mean, we talked about one of your heroes is Steve Nally.
For sure.
You've mentioned that. Where is Matt Jackson 10 years from now? Where are you 20 years from now? What do you see from you?
I hope to be at Preservation. That's just it's one of those jobs. It's an ideal dream job. I mean,
here we go again, man.
Dream job.
5 minutes from home.
Perfect.
It's a great job. But I mean, it's who knows.
And they don't expect you to be clean shaven.
No, they don't.
You guys.
It's okay to drink on the job.
Yeah,
you got to do quality control.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What else can you grow your beard out?
You got your beard. So I saw the picture out on your website. First of all, I don't know who does your all's website, but it's fantastic.
Thank you. I don't do it. I said I appreciate it, but I don't do it. We appreciate the compliment.
It's got a picture. You're on there, and then there's this other dude that's kind of got tatted up a little bit in a beard. And then there's this other kind of an older guy, and maybe there's four of you.
Andy's the one on the front right of that picture.
Okay.
I saw it today.
Yeah, because the other dude.
I'm not sure if I know which picture.
Yeah, the other dude he's got a beard. He's working on a matte beard, not as good as yours, and he's tatted up a little bit. And then there's okay.
Yeah, he may not be there anymore.
Okay. Well, he looked cool, man. From a marketing standpoint, he was fitting the role.
I know the guy you're talking about. He's a great guy. I don't have anything bad to say about him, but he had talents in other industries, and it's just decided that's what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things. Being brand new, you're going to go through help. I mean, it's just one of those things. But we've got a good crew there now. I mean, everybody does a good job. So.
Well, I just wanted to point out, if you missed any of it so far, that this Old St. Nick drink is just off the charts. And if you haven't had it yet, you need to go to Preservation and beat down the doors and figure out a way to get you a bottle.
So one of the things that I read, Matt, is that you guys, of course, you put out limited juice, right?
Yeah.
And so one of the things that I read on Old St. Nick, and when I read it, I was like, J-Bo, I cannot believe you're asking this guy to bring in this type of juice.
I have no class.
But it says, to make sure that you get on a list or whatever. I mean, we're pretty damn privileged today, J-Bo.
Yeah, I don't usually get embarrassed, but I embarrassed myself after I found out what I asked for.
Yeah,
you jumped to the front of the list.
I really did.
I'm just glad to be able to bring it over, guys.
I mean, somebody as prestige as Little Beano, you've never had this juice until today. And so,
he's never had this particular one, but Chad has tasted some stuff.
Oh yeah, I've tasted their white dog, so the stuff off their pot still.
Really?
And I knew early on when he let me taste that once before, I was like, that is good, because you can't put bad stuff in a barrel and hope the barrel fix it. And people try that very often, and we get calls for that and say, hey, we roughed up a batch or two, can recommend a certain type of barrel, and we're like, send us what you got and let's taste it, and we do, and like, we can't fix that.
Just dump that shit.
Throw that shit out the drain. Early on, I tasted the white dog and knew that he had learned real quickly how to make some really good stuff.
It's almost like this dude is he's like a prodigy. I mean, you've not even been into this since 2017, Matt, and the stuff that he's saying right now, man.
But I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, man, you're good.
Again, I give all the credit to the guys, the people that I surrounded myself with, and I knew early on that there was no way that I was going to be able to do all this on my own, and that's the best thing about the bourbon industry is they're willing to lend a hand, you know.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm a likable enough guy that most all these guys took a really, really. I was able to build a really good relationship with all of them, and you know, being willing to learn is the biggest part of it. And you know, I like to be the smartest guy in the room. I don't like to show it a lot of times, but I like to be the smartest guy in the room.
Well, you definitely hit the jackpot in here.
He got smoked down.
I'm just kidding, but you know, I took a lot of pride being able to come into that industry, not being born into it and not being super wealthy. I knew the opportunity that I had, and I wanted to try to make the most of it. And
Well,
You pretty much, I mean, you've sold me because I think, number one, you know, to be good at what you do, you obviously got to be a quick learner, and that's evident. The other thing is, man, you've got to be a people person. It's pretty damn clear you're a people person.
Appreciate that.
And so, man, that right there speaks volumes as far as I'm concerned.
You fit in well with us. We like to guys get down and dirty behind the scenes, not scared to get their hands wet and dirty and gooey, and you just like good bourbon. You're not in it for the fruits and the nuts and the vegetables and all that other fun stuff that some people sniff out. You just like good bourbon,
I just
and
like
that's
good bourbon.
You got to look at it this way too, Matt. One day we're probably going to have a Two Shots Hall of Fame, and I mean Michael May's not going to make that list. At least we know Chad's going to be probably in the inaugural class, but. Brother, I got to tell you, you're impressive. You're probably going to make that cut.
Well, guys, I appreciate it. I just thanks for the opportunity to be here. It's been fun.
The door's always open. You can come visit and drop off any of your old
If
St.
you
Nick.
ever need somebody,
drop off. He said.
$200 bottles of whiskey that you
Drop
have
it up.
laying around.
Yeah.
Now that you know where we stash it all, you know.
Or he can give it to me and I'll deliver it.
Yeah,
There we go. Hey, there you go, guys. There you go. There you go.
man, it's going to be fun though because I follow a lot of the publications. There's a lot of different publications out there on the bourbon industry, and dude, it's going to be fun to follow you because man, it's just you're just a good old country boy that's you're a reincarnation of a Steve Nally. I mean, because follow that path a few years down the road, and it's cool because
I
we got to
appreciate
talk
you
to
guys saying that, but I still have a hard time being, compared to somebody like that.
Just stay humble, man. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah,
You're
make
doing
sure
good
your
stuff.
wife listens to this too, because all of this praise will probably be good for your love life.
Wait, lucky enough, I don't have any problems in that area. It's the beard, man.
See, so now is this the first podcast you ever been on?
It is. It's the first
See
one.
there, man.
Yeah.
Shots on a barrel.
That's
Yep.
awesome.
There you
We're-
go.
we're-
Yes, man.
we
I've had
are-
a
it's our
couple
honor.
invites, but no, I really enjoyed it, guys. Thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Well, thank you so
Bino,
much.
thanks for the hookup, man.
Absolutely,
We
and I'll
appreciate
keep
you.
working on it. I like to let you guys work a little bit. I
Yeah.
don't want to just keep hand
appreciate
feeding
it.
you superstars.
Yeah.
Matt and I talked about another dude earlier.
Pat
Let's see if
Heist.
we can get him on here. Yeah,
Pat Heist will be.
he'd blow your mind.
Yeah, this guy is just super brilliant.
Bino's been a good friend of ours for years, Jerry, and we don't like to stroke his ego too much, but honestly, Matt, this is a guy that's really, really one of the best at what he does in the industry. He's been at it for a lot of years, so many contacts. The cool thing about Little Bino, and it doesn't take you long, and I know you can testify for this, is that regardless your small shop, there's even smaller shops, and he services his father-in-law, which is a big shop, and this guy doesn't matter. He's going to give you 100% of what he's got.
100%. I agree 100%.
I'm not going to disagree with you. That's what I do.
But that's what you do, brother.
If I thought that you were lying, I would tell you you're lying. But
Be like, smoke up my... No, it's just true.
That's why Brad Boswell lets me do what I do. And I say let me because I feel fortunate to have the job that I have with the company I have and work for the people that I do because, you all know the Boswell family. You've met, Matt's met them. We had our concert over there at Preservation Distillery, during the Bourbon Festival a couple of years ago. So, they've met these people and understand, how good they are. And anytime I am live or, otherwise, I will brag on Brad Boswell and the Independent Stave family.
Good folks.
Every single time, all the way down from the ownership through the dudes who bust their ass out there in that cooperage every single day to give me the opportunity to sell barrels to people like
Absolutely.
Matt.
Absolutely.
Oh, man. Well, thank
Hey,
both of you for
let's go,
coming out,
man.
man. We appreciate y'all giving us a little bit of your time. And, man, much love, and I hope everything keeps on rocking out
When
there.
both of you guys make the Hall of Fame now, just don't forget about us little people.
The Beard Hall of Fame? Because
Yeah.
I got a ways to go to get there to Matt.
Yeah.
I just hope to be there someday.
Yeah, you
will
got it,
be,
man.
man.
We'll
You
take
will
it
be.
one day at a time.
All right. Well, we appreciate you hanging out with us on Two Shots on a Barrel for Matt Jackson Preservation Distillery. Wow. What a great show, J-Bo. Chad, Little Beano Spalding with ISC. We got a lot of fun things coming your way. We've got a lot of fish on the hook.
Yes,
and,
lots of them.
It's going to be a lot of fun. And one of those shows that I'm especially excited about is the Talbot Tavern. I know that we're going to be talking to Jack Kelly, who you have been friends with for years and years and years,
Love 'em.
J-Bo.
Love 'em.
And we're going to hear a lot of those stories that only you can get from Talbot Tavern, and I'm excited about that one.
And he has probably the largest bourbon bar around.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd put up in next to anybody.
So we're excited
Huge.
about that. We got a bunch of other shows. In fact, we're going to be making another trip down probably to Logsteel and see the progress down there. Lynn Dant, who will be their master distiller, is a phenomenally smart person, and it's going to be fun just to kind of talk to her. We've already had Wally, and then another great dude that's down there that I had a chance to get a personal tour from was Charles Dant. And he is a great dude, just a real great guy. So a lot of good things going on in Nelson County.
Good family. They're good people.
Yep. Well, guys, that's going to do it for our show today, J-Bo.
See you guys.
All right, peace out, everybody. Until next time, it's Two Shots on a Barrel.
The Marion County Trail could be the best value in bourbon-themed travel in Kentucky. You'll experience one of the Kentucky Bourbon Trail's crown jewels, one of the Bourbon Trail Craft Tour's top-rated stops, and something you can't find anywhere else. Organized tours of a bourbon barrel manufacturing facility, all in one place. It's the Marion County Trail. Take your time to tour, dine, shop, and stay all along the way. Explore world-famous Maker's Mark, a hot ticket item on the Kentucky Bourbon Trail. Limestone Branch Distillery, home of world-famous Yellowstone bourbon, and one of the top-rated stops on the Kentucky Bourbon Trail Craft Tour. Kentucky Cooperage, the sprawling plant where the thriving Bourbon Industry's barrels are hand-built and seared with fire for bourbon aging flavor. And Lebanon, home of wonderful dining opportunities from home-cooked to chef-driven. Unique shopping opportunities, nowhere else to be found murals for your selfies, and overnight accommodations that range from traditional to bed and breakfast to bourbon-themed. Go to visitlebanonky.com for more details. Lebanon Tourist and Convention Commission, 270-692-0021.
Whether you're buying or selling, be it your first home or your last home, or building your investment portfolio, give me a call. I'm Lisa Kearns, a realtor with Exit Realty Heartland. I understand the stress and hassles involved in buying and selling, and I will be here for you. Let me put my 20 plus years experience in marketing and customer service to work for you. Give me a call, 270-402-4036. Lisa Kearns, realtor with Exit Realty Heartland, here to work for you.
Hey, this is Jimbo.
This is J-Bo.
Man, we are so happy because, J-Bo, we got this podcast going, and we got fantastic sponsors like our good buddy Billy Taft with Big O Tires.
Billy Taft, longtime friend, and I've been going to him for years for new tires at Big O Tires.
I needed a new set of tires just recently. Guess where I went?
Where'd you go?
Big O Tires here in Lebanon, Kentucky, the heart of Central Kentucky. Billy Taft. He took fantastic care of me. I know he's always taking care of you.
Yeah, heck yeah. He's even taking care of me when I broke down in Bardstown. He has a Bardstown location as well. Fixed the tires right up. Baby, I was out the door, back to Lebanon in no time.
He does a fantastic job. He's always worried about number one. You know what number one is?
What's that?
That is the customer.
Exactly.
The customer is always right when it comes to Billy Taft and Big O Tires, J-Bo.
You can get oil changes, tire rotations, new tires. Heck, he's even got used tires you can buy.
Absolutely. Whatever it is you're looking for, I guarantee you're going to find it at Big O Tires, Bardstown, or in Lebanon. Boy, and guess what? They are sponsors right here, J-Bo, on Two Shots on a Barrel.
I'm telling you what, we love Billy Taft and Big O Tires.
Go there today. Big O Tires, Billy Taft. It's in Lebanon and Bardstown, the heart of Central Kentucky. Two old boys ain't much for working. J-Bo, I love it. I love it, man. I love that tune.
Terry is so talented.
Terry Woolley. So, the story goes that I said, Terry, we're doing this podcast thing. We're just a couple of guys want to talk about bourbon, everything that is Central Kentucky. And Terry's like, I got you. And he took it from there.
Yeah, 24 hours later, bam, we have an opening theme for our podcast.
Terry Woolley with Crystal Music is, to kind of icing on the cake, is sponsoring Two Shots on the Barrel. I don't know how cool that is.
Not only did he do this for us, he's also sponsoring us. So, I mean, it's a double whammy from old Terry. Thank you, Terry.
And you guys have come a long way. You went from a point in time where you guys didn't necessarily get along the best in the world, and now you are like best friends.
Well, it's like, you put two superstars in one room, there's going to be some bumping heads.
Listen, whether it's recording, maybe it's some voice lessons that you need, some learning how to play a guitar, harmonica, you name it, Crystal Music in Campbellsville, Kentucky is the place to go.
Hey, I even was in a tight spot. I was going to go to Nashville. I was going to interview a bunch of artists, and I needed a guitar to sign.
I remember that. I
walked in there, and I'm telling you, they have guitars everywhere. And he said, you don't want this guitar, you want this guitar. And he set me up, and away I went to Nashville. Bam.
He took care of you, and that's the way he can take care of everybody. He's a good dude. He works so hard. His wife, Anna, though, is the best thing in the world about him. There's no doubt about that. But Terry Woolley is a great dude, and for every musical thing that you need, including... if you're out there listening and you need a jingle for your podcast, reach out to Terry Woolley. Check him out on Facebook. Look him up, Terry Woolley. That's Wooley. Or look up Crystal Music. You'll be able to check out all their deals along the way. And thanks so much, as always, J-Bo. They're a great sponsor.
Hey, and we're looking for more.
Absolutely. Right here on Two Shots in a Barrel.